With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold! Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Breeny Lee, and welcome to the Pep Talk podcast, where we have real, raw, relatable conversations with the pep talk you need.
You have the power to create your future with the choices that you make today.
What do you bring to the table? Baby, I am the table. Love yourself a little bit more than that, ladies. Come on.
Dust settles, queens don't.
And don't forget, know your worth and then add tax.
Period.
Today we're going to be talking about authenticity, and to me this is such a fascinating topic that I go back and forth with, because really and truly it is such a huge part of what makes me me, what helps me to be able to express myself in the way that I do, with what helps me to be self-aware, and really and truly it's just at the core of who I am, what I do. I try not to do anything that is inauthentic to me. I don't go places that aren't authentic to me. I don't work with brands that aren't authentic to me. I don't have friends that aren't authentic to me. The list goes on. So for me, being authentic is about being honest with yourself about who you are, what you are, and where you are, and reflecting that out to the world. It's about not compromising yourself just to fit in or faking it to be more acceptable to what people want from you. So one way that I can describe authenticity in a really simple way is me not doing anything that doesn't feel good to me, not going somewhere that doesn't feel right to you, not agreeing to do something that doesn't feel right to you. And I feel like one of the people that struggle with authenticity the most are people pleasers. But to be honest, I don't think people plan to be inauthentic, but I think we do underestimate how easily we can be influenced in this world. We live in the world, but we also live in a smaller world, which is called our world. So our little world is constantly spinning, and we're constantly being influenced by society, the culture, media, friends, family, peers, your enemies, teachers, the music you listen to, the books that you read, and really the company you keep. Even for someone like me that considers themselves as less of a follower and more of a leader, a few months ago I had to actually come to myself and ask myself a hard question. Is who you're being right now true to who you are? And the answer was no. I had lost parts of me that had made me real. I had lost parts of me that made me me. And from that point, it's just been a gradual, undercover, not online, but personal journey of really getting back to the authentic me. Because especially being on social media, it's like social media, especially the people that we choose to follow, can become like a little bubble. So everyone in this bubble kind of speaks the same language. The things that are acceptable to one person in this bubble is also acceptable to the other person. You start believing, talking, and thinking like those who are in this bubble. And it's not until you step outside of the bubble, or you let the bubble pop, that you realize that you actually wasn't living in the real world and you wasn't living in your truth. It didn't feel right to you, like inside. It didn't feel right to you inside, but because it had become your new normal, that was what was normal to you daily. And whatever you are constantly surrounded by becomes your new normal. That's why the Bible rightly says, bad company corrupts good morals. And there's a lot of truth inside that. We are not as free thinking as we all like to believe that we are. We are easily influenced and highly susceptible to all different kinds of narratives, whether they be right or wrong, especially the narratives that tell us who we are or who we should be. These narratives are so rampant in the world today. There is just so much noise. And one of the reasons why people have breakdowns is because they've moved so far away from who they really are and what they believe that they are literally separated from themselves and now have become a different person, what psychologists like to call the false self. Honestly, real people don't get broken by negative words spewed at them. But the other self that you have carefully curated and held together by you, the self that you present to the world as if it's really you, oh yeah, that self will break very easily and very quickly. Now, before we talk about how to be authentic, I need to talk about the things that stand in the way of authenticity, and that being fear. Fear of being fully seen, fear of other people's disapproval, fear of being different, and fear of rejection. The funny thing is, we are all born into this world with this kind of instinctive knowing. We're not supposed to go outside the lines drawn for us, not supposed to make a scene. We are to follow the rules and do exactly what everyone else does. And the system is kind of built that way. You get to age 3, you go to nursery or kindergarten, as Americans would say. Then you go junior school, then you go to high school, then you go to college, then you go to university, then you get a job, then you get married, then you buy a house, and then you die. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that model. And I don't think there's anything wrong with actually having some structure or stages to look forward to. But I'm just talking about the mentality of doing things everybody else is doing without questioning whether this is actually the right path for me. And I know we all like to think of ourselves as rule breakers, but let's be honest, most of us, we do follow the rules. It's the reason why we want a good job. It's the reason why we want to earn good money. It's the reason why we want to be married. It's the reason why we want children. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with wanting these things. I almost feel like most of these things are innate, but the inauthenticity comes when who you are on the outside is not aligning with the person you truly are on the inside. Let's say you have this burning desire to be a missionary. You want to go to a third world country. You want to do work there. You want to build schools. You want to do something, okay? But your current life, you are in a really successful job. You are always being promoted. You're always moving up. But at the same time, you're not happy. Why are you not happy? Because what you really want to do, you're not doing. And though everybody else may say, oh my God, you've got an amazing job. Oh my God, I would love to have your job. Oh my God, I would love to have your life. You're the person that doesn't want that life because you know that's not what's authentic to you. When you are not in alignment with your deepest desires, it's really a one-way road to unhappiness, no matter how much accolades you may get. And this can be related to almost anything. When who you are on the inside does not align with your outward actions, you are not being true to yourself, you're not being honest with yourself, and therefore you are living inauthentically. And I shared a little bit of this on Instagram, but I didn't really go into detail, so I'm going to share some of it here. I used to have a really big passion for fashion and clothing and looking nice, and that was really because I wanted to be seen as beautiful, I wanted to be seen as attractive, I wanted to be seen as stylish, I wanted to kind of compete with other influencers. But lately, that desire to be seen has really changed. For the last year or so, I'll take pictures in stylish clothes or nice clothes because really and truly it is part of my job. But I can't tell you how quickly I want to get out of those clothes and put on comfortable jogging bottoms, comfortable two-piece sets, leggings. Being comfortable was what was true for me, but being this person that was so glammed up all of the time really and truly was false inside to me. Even though on the outside, oh my God, look, you look so nice. That did nothing for me because truly the real me is super casual. It's super calm, especially now that I've got older. My priorities have changed. I more so now want to be heard rather than seen. And for so long, I kind of battled with that. Like, no, put yourself out there. You're a pretty girl. Like, you're not going to be this cute forever. Just put yourself out there. But it's like every time I do, I don't feel comfortable. I feel like a fish outside of water. And even though I may look good on the outside, it wasn't bringing me joy. And really and truly, that inauthenticity started to affect me mentally because I had cognitive dissonance. I wasn't being true to myself. I think you have to be okay with saying, well, I used to like it, but I don't like it anymore. And a lot of people don't like to do that because they don't like change. And especially if something is working for you, it's really hard to stop that, especially if it's attached to like you financially or emotionally or whatever profit you're getting out of that. But I believe it's 100% more powerful to do things that align with who you are, that is true to yourself. And I truly believe that the road to unhappiness is to live inauthentically, but the road to happiness is to live authentically, even if that means turning things down. Like, you may not live in the biggest house, like you may not do the things that you thought were what you wanted, but I think when what you want changes, it doesn't even matter because that's not what you want, right? And you're not living for the approval of other people. You're now living out of a place of, this is what I want to do, and I'm not asking for your permission. I'm just doing what's natural for me. And I think we have to go back to being a little bit more natural. I think that the world at the moment is very curated because there's money to be made. Everything is a business. But I think for me and for the sake of our mental health, we can't be living at odds with each other. So where do we start with this? How do we live authentically? Number one is identity. Who the hell are you? Who is you? You must know who you are. And this means a lot to different people, but if I'm speaking for me, my highest claim to fame or my highest claim to worth is being a child of God, made in his image. My daddy owns the whole universe and I'm the king's kid. That's what gets me going. That's what brings me joy. Like, that's what gets me like, yeah, I'm solid. I know that, I believe that, and I've accepted that as truth. I move differently. My confidence is set up differently. I'm not worried. I'm not worrying. I'm not trying to be accepted. I'm not trying to be like, I don't want to be anyone else. I'm happy. I'm happy being me. And your claim to worth can be, maybe you have a respectable family, a respectable father, a respectable mother. Back in ancient times, people actually got their identity from who their father was. So back in the day, it would be your name and son of whoever your father is, son of, I don't know, Joseph, son of Hezekiah, son of whatever. And that's where people got their identity from. And I think at the moment, the world is going through an identity crisis because it has forgotten its origin. Then a dictionary definition of authentic is an undisputed origin and not a copy, genuine. To be authentic is to be genuine, not to be a copy of something or someone else. And the thing is, you don't have to try to be original because you are already original. And so when you don't realize that you are already unique, you try to be someone and end up being a copy, or you end up being just the same as everybody else because they're also trying to be someone that they think they should be when all they had to do was be themselves. And that's what it means when people say be yourself. When you try to be different, you end up being the same as everyone. Just be you. Number two, how to live authentically. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want from life? If I gave you a blank paper and I said, I'm going to give you everything that you write down in this paper, what would you write? What do you want? And until you're able to answer this question, you can never live authentically because you don't know what's true for you. A lot of people want it, but they don't know what it is. A lot of us want what others have told us to want. And that's all I will say on that. Sometimes people would project what would make them happy onto you, not realizing that your happiness and their happiness is completely different. So what I want you to do is sit down and write a list of what is truly, truly important to you. What makes you smile when you think about it? It can be one or two things. It can be three things. It can be four things. Every time you think about this thing, you smile without a doubt. This is my list. Christ, family, love, simplicity, peace, contentment, quietness, ease, and reality. Anything connected with those things is authentic to me. And before I do anything, I ask myself, is this what I'm doing? Is it connected to these 9 things? And that's what you need to do. Write a list of what is genuinely important to you. What do you genuinely love? And a lot of you guys keep doing things that are very inauthentic to you, and you can't understand why you are unhappy, and that is the reason why. Number 3, do not conform. Do not try to conform or contort yourself to fit what other people have, what other people are, what other people are doing. The moment you get out of your lane and try and run someone else's race is the moment you fail. You were designed to run your race and your race only. Do not shrink yourself to fit in. Do not try and make yourself bigger to stand beside someone else. Just be you. Who you are is good enough, and who you are is powerful because it's authentic. I would rather have an authentic Zara bag than have a fake Louis Vuitton bag. That's just it. We need to bring real back. We need to bring what is real to us, what is important to us. And I know a lot of us have jobs that we don't particularly like, and maybe that job is there to facilitate a bigger dream, but just know that. Just know what you want. Know what the end goal is. And I'm not saying that you have that, what you want right now, but having that in your mind or in your mind's view will motivate you to keep on going and motivate you to keep enduring, even through the things that you're doing now that you don't particularly like. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of the Pep Talk podcast. It would mean so much to me if you can leave a review, rate this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Stay fabulous, ladies.